All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my first ever video. Today we're going to explain how exactly I was able to grow my page so big, and I think I'm literally the most famous white belt on the internet. Somebody could fact check me on that, but I don't think I've seen a white belt on Instagram with more than 40,000 followers that I got. So here are the three simple tricks that I use that if you implement these, you're guaranteed to grow your page. And if you have more experience than me, it should be even easier because I suck at jiu-jitsu. So let's go into it. So as you can see, I'll kind of move my camera here, but from 0 to 45,000 followers in 10 months on the left, that's what my content used to look like. That's actually my first ever video where I was filming technique videos in my pajamas, right before I went to bed, getting 11 likes and 800 views, absolutely nothing. And in 10 months, I grew it to a video with almost 5 million views and 45,000 subscribers where I'm making a decent amount of cash every month off of this. So, and again, I'm still a white belt. So if you're, and that's literally a picture of me not too long ago getting my second stripe. So this should be achievable for anybody. So the first tip, value-based content. You have to answer the question, why should people follow me, right? When I ask myself, if I was a random person who was scrolling on Instagram Reels and I stopped on my page, what do I gain from that? What do I gain from following Dalmo BJJ, right? Because most people, if I were to use Instagram and I were to follow somebody and they posted a bunch of shit, it would just clutter up my homepage, right? And so the way that I approached it was from the eyes of the viewer, and you have to think about it that way. And so why would they follow you is if you provide value to them that's applicable in their life. And so that means useful jiu-jitsu advice, and it's not something that's going to clutter their homepage, right? Because it's essentially a risk. They're risking their time and attention in order that you give them their money back, essentially, their value back with their time and attention. So two, I stopped posting raw highlights. Again, I'm a trash white belt. I'm not some crazy black belt that's doing really cool moves. I'm not like Landon Elmore. I don't know if you saw that guy, but he was jumping triangles on Bryce Mitchell at EBI 11. That stuff's really cool, and that stuff will do really well if you're crazy good at jiu-jitsu, but I suck. And so most people, the way that they go about posting jiu-jitsu is they just post their own highlights. And if you're not crazy good, nobody cares. It's boring. It's uninformative. Your viewers aren't gaining anything by watching you. They might be mildly entertained, but that's not going to push them in order to hit the follow button on you, right? There's two different types of content that you can create. You can create value-based content, or you can create educational-based content, entertainment-based content. The only jiu-jitsu channel that I have seen that does extremely well with entertainment-based content is Argyle MMA, I think is what they're called. They're like the two Asian kids out of Texas that make those meme videos. They're literally the only jiu-jitsu page that I've seen that posts high-quality, actually funny memes all the time, and they have a dedicated, loyal audience. Pretty much any other format of jiu-jitsu entertainment is useless, right? When people watch jiu-jitsu, they're watching it because they want to apply it the next time that they go train. And therefore, it is inherently educational. So your content needs to, if you're not going to be posting genuinely funny memes and good skits like Argyle Jiu-Jitsu or Argyle MMA, then you automatically are going to fall into the educational category, right? Highlights of yourself would fall under entertainment, and nobody cares unless you're crazy good. So that's really the framework that you need to follow, is educational rather than entertainment. And lastly, so then, right, if I'm going to be an educational based jiu-jitsu content creator, why would anyone listen to me, right? And I thought this, I was like, how do I get around this? You could see that in my bio. I'm actually going to flip back to my bio. When I first started, my bio was, I help white belts improve technique and build their physique. You can't see the last part, but I was positioning myself as an authority figure for white belts because I knew I couldn't teach blue belts. I couldn't teach purple belts, right? I had only been training jiu-jitsu for a year at this point. And so I inherently understood that in order for my technique videos in my pajamas to be taken seriously, I had to position myself as above somebody else, right? You listen to your coaches because they've been doing it longer. You listen to your parents because they've lived more life than you. And I inherently understood that, but I didn't recognize the ultimate way that you can prove that you're an authority figure is by not using yourself, by outsourcing it, utilizing third-party authority. So if you look at all of my videos on my Instagram, almost every single one of them, I use Gordon Ryan's name or Nicky Rod's name or John Danaher's name. And why is that? Immediately, if I just use their name and then show a 10-second clip of Gordon Ryan or John Danaher using the move I'm about to talk about, even if I explain exactly what they explain in their video, no one's going to take it seriously if I'm the only one on the screen. But if I begin the video by saying, here's how Gordon Ryan hits this arm drag. Now, it may have been an arm drag I've known about since month 2 of training, but because he's the one doing it, it immediately positions the entire video. Now the entire video is in the frame and context of, oh, the best jiu-jitsu player in the world does it, therefore I must listen. And so that's really the strategy that I used. And that played instantly into my series videos. One of the most successful series on my channel was explaining Gordon Ryan instructionals, which was a genius concept for multiple reasons, and I still do it to this day because, one, like we talked about, instructionals, they literally explain thousands and thousands of moves, and every single one of those moves, you can take a 10-second clip and talk about it and make a reel, and you could say, hey, Gordon Ryan does this, therefore you should too, and you just have like literally unlimited content that you can make just by looking at an instructional, taking little clips of it, and then explaining one move out of the thousands that they explain. And also, here's your 4th bonus tip for the homies that stuck around to the end of this video. Series do extremely well for short-term creator or short form creators. Why is that? Think about it. If I'm a new person who's just scrolling on Instagram and I stumble upon a random video and it's your video and I'm not following you and it's the first video I've ever seen from you, and let's say, and this is actually an applicable example, let's say I follow on your video and it's day 4 of teaching jiu-jitsu foot sweeps, and you go and you teach a foot sweep, right? Well, if me as a new viewer, if I see that, I instantly think to myself, whoa, he's on day 4 already? That means there's 4 other videos and there's going to be more foot sweep videos on this guy's page. And if I'm a jiu-jitsu guy that wants to learn foot sweeps, I'm going to follow you, right? Now let's take that same scenario and let's remove the series aspect from it. Again, I'm a new person. I stumble across your page and I've never seen it before. And I just click on a random video and it's the same foot sweep video, but it's not contextualized as a series. You don't say it's day 5 of teaching foot sweeps. You just say, here's how to do the Harai Goshi or whatever. I don't know foot sweep names. As a new person, I'm going to think, oh, wow, that was a cool foot sweep. Next, right? I might save it to use later at training that night, but I'm not going to hit the follow button because there's no expectation that you're going to post more foot sweeps. Do you see where I'm going with that? So that's why the explaining Gordon Ryan instructional works so good for me, because it utilizes third-party authority and it's a series. So people see my channel, they're like, wow, I'm going to get so much value just from following this kid, which plays into our first point, right? I'm a value-based educational jiu-jitsu content creator, right? So those are some tips for you guys. If you're struggling to grow your page, click the link down in my description. I run a coaching service where I literally hop on one-on-one coaching calls just like this, where I'll audit your page. I'll go through everything that you're teaching, or sorry, that you're posting on your Instagram, and I'll just give my take on how I grew And if you want to listen to my advice, you can. It's only $15 a month. It's like eating fast food one time. So if you guys are interested, click that link in the description. Thanks, guys.